production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. How about them Cowboys? This is Just for Kicks.
Broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Now, your hosts, Judy Trammell, Haley Anderson, and Kelly Fenglass.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Just for Kicks. I'm Kelly Fenglass, joined by Haley Anderson and Judy Trammell. This show is a lot of girl talk, and men just might want to listen. Hi, Judy. Hi, Haley.
Hey, Kelly.
Happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank you.
How did you guys spend your weekend? Judy, what did you cook up in the Trammell family this week?
We had a lot of fun, a special Mother's Day. I had two of my kids were able to come over with the grandkids, and we made homemade pizza and then grilled and swam. They swam all day long. It was really fun, and we took graduation kindergarten pictures with Canon, inspired by you, which I know we'll get into later. But it was a really fun day. I didn't get to see the other two, Graham and Jack, because their other grandfather is health compromised right now. So we have not seen them since the beginning of quarantine, and I'm ready to get my Jack and Graham hug soon.
So you're over 50 plus days out seeing them at all. Did they do Easter through the window with you or no?
No, they've been real strict about what they're doing. Taylor's wife, Katie, is a hairdresser, and she goes back to work next week. And I just think she's been taking every precaution to make sure that she stays healthy and that they don't bring any germs to her dad, who has not been well. So I'm kind of proud
living
of
with her dad.
No, but they he needed some visits, so they've kind of kept up a few visits with them. And her mom is a nurse at a big hospital in Dallas. She's on the children's end of it. She's on the cancer ward with children. So they've just been extra careful.
Right. Well, my house actually filled up a little bit this weekend. I now have both kids home, and it's amazing to have them both home. And we're already kind of starting to find our place in our space. But I had a great Mother's Day because on Mother's Day, Ryan surprised me with this big fancy brouhaha coffee pot that grinds and brews and wakes you up because it's so loud grinding. It's fabulous. And it was very simple, though. My kids went outside and sat at my table with my little roses and all the flowers that I've been working on all summer or all spring. And they sat out there and had coffee with me. And then Samantha gave me a T-shirt. It's a Pat Mahomes inspired T-shirt because he's from East Texas and I am too. My alliances are obviously Cowboys, but it's a Pat Mahomes T-shirt where he's doing the iconic Freddie Mercury pose.
That's awesome.
It is. Awesome. And it's from East Texas. So anyway, but the best part of my weekend was that it was so simple. I mean, I don't think I've ever gotten to sit in my backyard with my children and just adult talk. So that was
I could see that for you because that's your special time, and I'm glad that they joined in with you.
Yeah,
that's fun.
And then our big moment was Samantha's not graduation ceremony that we pulled off, and Judy, you helped me pull it off. And Haley, thank you. You sent a message. We had a full video of messages for Samantha graduating from friends, and I put that together. And then the coolest thing was, Judy, you know I have an alarm on my phone, but Samantha was born at 6:28 in the evening, and I couldn't think of how we could even acknowledge her graduation. And I was going through her pictures, and I ran across a picture of her in her kindergarten, first day of kindergarten with her kindergarten teacher, Mr. Creel, who we have remained in touch with through the years. And it just a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, I wonder if Mr. Creel could and would meet us properly distanced at Samantha's elementary school and give her a kindergarten teacher's version of a college graduate commencement. And he said yes. And that's exactly what we did. And Judy helped me arrange the parade of support. And when we brought Samantha around the corner, it turned the magical 6:28 in the evening, which was the moment she was born. And she turned the corner. I told her we're going to take a family picture, which she should have been suspicious with that all along, just to get us in a car in one place. But when she rounded the corner and saw people out in the parking lot, I could see she was just kind of starting to get startled. And then we brought her to this position in front of the bricks of her elementary school where I have this picture. And I brought out, Mr. Creel walked out from behind her as a surprise. And when he did, she bawled like a baby. Did she not, Judy?
She did. It gave
sweet.
Everyone chills. It was one of the sweetest moments I think I've ever witnessed. I loved it.
Awesome.
And in a typical overproduced manner, we had a sound system. We had 3 sound systems, actually. I had Tina Clancy had brought a sound system with a microphone, and then I brought.
And we had a dress rehearsal. I was really proud that we had a dress rehearsal.
We had a sound check. We had a technical sound check to see if there was electricity. Tina had the microphone for the speech, and I wanted to play commencement music, but I knew if I was multitasking my device, then one wouldn't work. We've all learned that through this quarantine and technology. And then all of a sudden, Kitty Carter comes flying into the parking lot and drops her tailgate, and she's got a sound system with like
Awesome.
Alice Cooper, School's Out for Summer, Pitbull, Celebrate, just rocking music. So anyway, it was beautiful. And Mr. Creel said the sweetest things. And I'll play that here in just a minute. And everybody can listen to it if they want, just to see what a kindergarten teacher's commencement address was. But, you know, we interviewed teachers a couple weeks ago, and I said it then and I'll say it now. I just really, really appreciate what teachers do in the lives of our kids. And I've always said, you know, what an impact they have on us as parents as well. And this weekend was just proof of that. And he was tickled as well, just to be a part of it. So it was super cool. And Judy, thank you for helping me pull it off. Awesome. Samantha came home and watched it on video, and she cried, and she kept crying, and she kept crying because she missed her big A&M Aggie graduation. And then finally she goes, Mom, this was better than anything I could have ever done on a big scale. So anyway, it was awesome. So
that's awesome.
Creel had commented on one of your photos saying that this is the highlight of his teaching career also. And I thought that was really sweet. Yeah, because it's a full circle.
Aw, that's awesome. Well, hey,
you know, they don't get the end result of their kindergarten teaching. So I think that's what was so awesome about it, is that he got her from the beginning and he got to see the end result. And Samantha is so bright. And when she started speaking, it really touched me.
I know, me too. I was like,
Great
whoa, you go, girl. She can outspeak me any day and much more polished.
Need some lessons from her.
I was shocked because she obviously was not expecting it. And Judy, you know how important it is. Haley, someday you will, and I know your mom does. We try so hard to surprise you guys. Like for Christmas and Easter, we try so hard. We've all of us moms have hidden presents in our closets, in our attics, in our vents, in our cars, in our friends' house. We do everything we can to surprise you guys, including the cheerleaders, like we did last week with their ring presentations. And it doesn't always work. It's very rare that as a mom you get a moment where you're like, I gotcha.
I did it.
And I was pleased that she was surprised. What'd you do, Haley? What's keeping up with the Joneses? How's the life with the family?
So last week we left our grandparents, but we still stayed with my immediate family. And then my brother had a friend with him. And then we actually met up with some of our friends that we had gotten COVID tested before, just to make sure that they didn't pass it on to us when they came to visit us. So we were with friends for a week. We spent all day by the pool. And so it was nice to kind of just relax and not worry about it. But then today they all left. So now it's just like me and my mom and my boyfriend. And we're all just kind of just hanging out for the next few days. And we kind of looked at each other at 9 and was like, why is it so quiet? But we had 9 people leave. And it was like, now it's just 4 of us. And we're like, okay, it's not the same.
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So we had, which I mean, it was fun being together. We had spent almost 60 days together, and now it's like, okay, now it's really quiet. But it was nice to kind of get the last bit of hanging out together before they all went back today.
You know, that's the silver lining in all this. You will never forget this time you've had with your family. You've been with an extended family, which is awesome. While I was sheltered, I haven't had, Ryan's been home, Samantha hasn't until now, but especially with college kids, and once everybody graduates and goes off to their college careers, and then they'll come home with boyfriends or fiancés or spouses or kids, I don't think any of us will ever have a time like this. The good parts of it. Now, there have been some minor, let's just say, a little explosions.
Yeah, we've had a few of those.
That makes me feel normal, though, because I've had several friends that have kind of lost it with their kids and meant nothing by it. These are adult kids, college-age kids. And they're all like waiting for me because I'm like, oh, everything's so sweet. Samantha's home from college, you know, hugs and kisses. And they're like, you just wait.
Give it a week.
Well, we have Heather, we have 4-year DCC Heather joining us today. And then we also have Mr. Marshall Hatley, who's going to talk with us about hair and probably everything else in life. On today's show. So when we come back, we're going to be joined by Heather. And on our way to break, you'll get to see a little bit of the kindergarten/college commencement address, just for kicks.
Quite a few years ago, when I was teaching kindergarten here at Denton Creek Elementary, 2 parents toured my classroom and asked many questions trying to decide if their young daughter was ready to begin kindergarten. Those parents were your parents, and that young child was you, Samantha. From the very beginning, your parents have wanted the very best for you, and every decision they made was in your best interest. How fortunate I was a year later to discover that you would be in my class and I would be your teacher. I knew it would be a memorable year when on the first day of school, I got a note from your mother letting me know that you insisted on hair extensions that morning. And if they happened to come out, could I reattach them? Well, needless to say, I had not much experience with hair extensions. But I'm happy to say that all extensions remained in place and dramatic crisis was avoided. It was nothing but wonderful memories from that point on. Now, all these years later, here you are at the end of your academic journey. I was there with you at the very beginning, and perhaps unexpectedly, here with you at the very end. First, I presented you with a frog name tag here at Denton Creek Elementary, and today I present you with your graduation sash from Texas A&M University, with your Bachelor of Science in Telecommunications Media Studies, with a double minor in journalism and social media. Congratulations, sweet girl.
The Cowboys way, where Thanksgiving means spending the day with 100,000 of your closest family and friends to watch the game live. Where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships show us what success looks like. Where we're all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans have the power to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Copyright 2019, Bank of America Corporation.
Have you ever dreamed of being a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader? This may be your year to make the team. For the first time ever, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are hosting online auditions with a simple application and video submission. This is the chance of a lifetime to pursue your dream and perform in the NFL from the convenience of your own home. Applications are being accepted now through May 15th at DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com. That's DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
Right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down, based on GWS 1 score September 2019.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys, and your favorite football team.
Get yours today at shop.dallascowboys.com or at stetson.com.
Back to Just for Kicks.
We're back on Just for Kicks, and we are now joined by 4-year Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Heather. Hi, Heather.
Heather.
I miss you all. How are you?
Good. We miss you.
We miss you too. Now, where are you? Because I don't think you're in Texas, and I know you started in Arizona, but I think you're back where?
I am in Phoenix, Arizona. So back closer to home, but a new city for me, but it's still just as hot.
Oh. So I remember, I think it was Heather, you were like literally, did you miss your college graduation, or you drove the day after your college graduation to Dallas to try out?
So actually 4 years ago today, literally, was my college graduation, and I walked across the stage and accepted my diploma and shook the hand of my dean of students and walked out of the auditorium and hopped in my parents' car, and they dropped me at the airport, and I flew to Dallas and auditioned the next morning, was prelims. So it's like the most whirlwind 48 hours of my life. I started Friday as a senior in college and ended Sunday evening as a college graduate with an invitation into finals.
Reading your bio, and that was one of the things that stood out to me, that the commitment you had on wanting to audition for the DCC to do something like that. That's crazy, a crazy time in your life. Did you drive here?
So the first time I flew, my mom and I flew to Dallas, and she did the preliminary round and the semifinals round with me. And then we were excited and flew back home and got my whole family in the car. And then my whole family, including my 2 sisters, drove out to finals the following week. So it was a family affair for finals.
Heather, you say your mom was with you. We literally have had moms try out with.
She's not that brave.
So I assume your mom had a 10-hour session in her car while you were in trying out for your dreams, huh?
She did, but I mean, she had 18 years, well, 21 years, I guess, of practice being a dance mom, sitting in parking lots and keeping herself entertained while I was in classes and auditions and competitions. So she's very well versed at keeping herself busy and calming her nerves. But she said it was the hardest day, just sitting and waiting to find out what had happened. And I definitely empathize with all of the college seniors who audition, because managing the second semester of your senior year while trying to prepare to audition for DCC, you don't want to miss out on all your activities, but you want to have a sense of responsibility and accountability. So it's definitely a tough season to juggle, but so worth it if you do it correctly.
Haley and Judy, we need to think about those moms when we do get together in a parking lot audition scenario next year, hopefully. And we should think about catering and cocktails out there for the
cocktails. That's a good idea.
We can come up with a special drink, the Just for Kicks drink, just for moms, Just for Kicks drink.
That could be a show on its own, I'm sure.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Heather, you are one of, I'm not even sure how many there are, but you are one of the elite who has the honor of being Rookie of the Year. And you've also been chosen as Veteran of the Year last year. That's must really mean a lot to you coming from your peers.
It does. And I mean, accolades from this organization mean so much, but friendships mean even more. And I love our list of promises from the Optimist Creed, and my favorite one is promise yourself to make all of your friends feel that they have something in them, and that's something I tried to do since my rookie season through my 4th year, whether it's just encouraging my rookie sisters or encouraging the rookies who were in my group this year. And I think that's something that really resonated with my teammates. And yes, it's definitely a huge honor, one of the most meaningful honors I've ever gotten.
A lot of people are wondering what's in the future for Miss Heather.
Yes, the pressing question. But I thought, what better way to kind of give everyone an answer than with you all on the screen. But after a lot of thought and prayer and consideration, I've decided to retire after 4 awesome years. And I've always said it takes a lot of bravery and a lot of faith to audition for this team. And I've learned in the last year that it takes just as much bravery and faith to decide when it's time to retire from this team, because no one does. It's just like resigning from a job that you love, but with such different circumstances, because the caliber of the skill set required here is something that you can't maintain forever. And we obviously all know that there's a limited allotment of spots, and I'm excited to watch the next crop of girls earn their boots next year, and I'm excited for my next chapter too.
Well, not so quick, Heather. We still have one big, huge squad gathering next week. We're having our first and hopefully last virtual banquet. And you've always been so eloquent with your words. And I was sitting here listening to you thinking, okay, Heather's got to make a speech. She's got to make a speech to the squad. So be prepared to share what you just shared with us, because that will be our final gathering next week, would be our virtual banquet. But not only, Judy mentioned the veteran of the year and the rookie year, but you also have been a group leader and a show group member. And those were selected by the staff. So you've won favor by your teammates and your staff. And that is definitely a way to sail away and jump on your next magic carpet ride with great, great pride.
Thank you. And I mean, just making this team in the first place, I thought was the biggest accomplishment of my life. So everything else has just been just added blessings, and it's been so much fun. It still feels like a dream. Every time I put on a uniform or even see a photo of myself, I'm like, I can't believe I was brave enough to do that at 21. This is nuts. But it's something I'll carry with me forever.
Well, I know you've also got a lot of fans. I mean, real fans, and we have our little podcast fans that have been sending Haley questions that our friends and fans want to know. So, Haley, you want to share some of those with us while we have Heather in a captive state here?
Yes, let's go with a fun one. Sid Ness 99 from Instagram is asking how Honey's doing.
Yes, I wish she was here. Honey is my 4-month-old golden retriever puppy, and I've wanted one for years. And I always told myself that I would wait until I retired from my dance career, so I would have enough time to devote to training her and taking care of her. And with this time in quarantine, it's been the best time to have a puppy. She's been great. She's so smart. Jared's taking care of her right now because she's a little unpredictable when she starts whining, and I didn't want her to interrupt the podcast. But she's cute. You can find her on Instagram and keep up with her naughty moments. She's funny.
Okay, this is from.
Go ahead, Haley. I'm sorry.
You had a puppy question?
Yeah, I was going to ask: is she potty trained? Has potty training been easy through the 4 months of a golden retriever? Is she golden retriever or yellow lab? Did you say
golden retriever? And we just hit a huge milestone over the weekend. This was our first weekend with no accidents. So it was nice. It only took 4 months. But Alexis, actually on the team, has a golden doodle puppy, and we were roommates back in Frisco. So every morning when her golden doodle puppy Josie would wake up, Honey and Josie would play together all day, and it was so cute to watch them play. So we miss Josie and Alexis.
Okay, another question is from Josh Kinberg, 22. This question is for Heather. What is one of your favorite game day memories?
My favorite game day memories. I think that game day for the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio was one of my favorite memories of my career here. It's the only outside game that I've ever cheered as a member of the squad, and we all traveled to Canton and stayed there, I think, for 10 days. And got to experience all sorts of just experiences and events to honor Jerry and to honor the Cowboys for their participation in the game. So that's definitely a memorable game day experience.
Last question from Julia Cullen. I don't even know how to pronounce her last name. But Heather, who was your boot buddy?
Oh, I had 2 boot buddies, actually. My first boot buddy was Bridget. And then we added Kelsey to our crop of boot buddies this year. And I have a fun story about Bridget. So my boyfriend and I have been dating since college, and he brought his roommate, who's one of our best college friends, to our last game, and him and Bridget hit it off and kind of chatted over FaceTime for a few months, and now they're dating. So two of my best friends from two of my different chapters in my life are now falling in love, and it's the sweetest thing. And my first successful Cupid attempt ever, so I'm pretty excited.
The bridesmaid's
awesome.
dress is ready.
I know.
For those that are listening and don't understand what a boot buddy is, Heather, how would you describe what a boot buddy is?
The boot buddy system was a concept that we came up with 2 years ago, I believe, and it's kind of a big sister, little sister program to give incoming rookies the opportunity to bond with a veteran, just to give them personal guidance, both on and off the field, in and out of the locker room. And we have the opportunity to give input on who we want as our boot buddy, just depending on either previous life experiences or personality types. So I got to pick Bridget as my boot buddy, and now we're just the best of friends. And we added Kelsey to our crop, and I actually had the opportunity to work with Kelsey off the field in a career setting this year, and she's just the most hardworking and poised, kind teammate I've ever known. So she's just great. It's been a really good year to bond as the three of us.
Speaking of your career, I know your degree's in business management, and you were a patient coordinator and patient manager, and then you took over all the insurance for the doctor's practice. What are you going to be pursuing in Arizona now for a career?
Great question. So Dr. Vasquez has actually been kind enough to extend a remote position to me for now, just because hiring is kind of few.
Wow.
So I helped implement his COVID safety strategy. So I'm doing all the patient communication as far as where to enter the building and to wear a facial mask, et cetera. So I've been able to accomplish kind of the back end of the administrative work from Arizona, which has been such a blessing. And hopefully, as this starts to clear up, I am hoping to pursue my career in pharmaceutical sales. So that's hopefully what's next for me.
Awesome. Good for you. I noticed that you had still said you were doing the patient coordination, but I thought, that must be outdated. You can't be still doing that. But you are. Good for you and good for him.
Boss ever. I know he's been so kind. Him and his wife both said, we don't want to leave you stranded and we still want your help. So it's been a good way to keep some familiarity when the rest of my life has been shifting so dramatically.
Well, Heather, it has been a pleasure having you join us on Just for Kicks, and we will miss seeing you in person, although I know now you have way too many roots here in Texas to not be back in Texas. And we also will be seeing you Tuesday at our year-end virtual banquet. But thank you so much for joining us today, and we wish you nothing but the best. You've just been a very high achiever and one of the most genuine souls on our team, and we appreciate what you've brought to this team and what you will be leaving for the new girls to follow.
Thank you all so much. I can say the same about you. And just one final addition is a business student and women in business. I've always really admired just women entrepreneurs, and I've studied them, and getting to work underneath the two of you in Charlotte for the last 4 years, and I see you firsthand, and the way that you speak and the way that you lead has just been a dream. So thank you for all that you've taught me, and I can't wait to use it in my career moving forward. I love you guys.
We're going to miss you.
Well, speaking of teaching, when we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by Marshall Hatley of Tangerine Salon, and he's going to hopefully teach us what in the heck to do with our hair during this time and a whole lot more. So we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by the famous Marshall.
Planning your next family vacation? Make it Dreams Playa Mujeres Golf Resort and Spa. Enjoy the perks of unlimited luxury at this all-suite beachfront haven where gourmet meals, premium drinks, and activities are all included. Only 10 minutes from downtown Cancun, Dreams is situated on a private white sand beach. Soak in the views from the infinity pool, pamper yourself at our spa, or enjoy family time at the lazy river and water park. Book your stay today at Dreams Playa Mujeres by visiting dreamsresorts.com.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys? Jack Black. Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
The Cowboys way, where Thanksgiving means spending the day with 100,000 of your closest family and friends to watch the game live. Where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships show us what success looks like. Where we're all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans have the power to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
Copyright 2019 Bank of America Corporation.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
Right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down. Based on GWS 1 score, September 2019.
Back to Just for Kicks.
We are back here at Just for Kicks, and we are joined by Haley, Judy, and now Heather. Did we lose Heather? We did lose. Okay. I don't see Heather.
She's there. I'm here.
Okay, well then we cannot start over, but we are joined by Marshall. And Marshall, I'm so glad to see you. I called you Mr. Sparkle, and of course, you have arrived in Marshall fashion. I have peepers on here to look at your sparkles. What do we have going on there, Marshall?
Oh, it's just my simple Thursday caftan.
Simple. Well, I have on my Thursday golf collar because I am hoping to get to go watch a golf lesson with my son today. But in fact, speaking of sons, I have to tell this full story how Marshall even became the hairdresser for the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Marshall is from our area. He's from Capella specifically, which is where the original Tangerine Salon is. And Marshall gave my children their first haircut. That's how far back this goes. So, and then through the years, Marshall has moved on to the salon in Dallas, and we are still at the original salon. And Marshall now does all the cheerleaders and so many hopefuls. And Marshall, I can't tell you how many people say, oh, I just want to meet Marshall. I want to know what Marshall will do to my hair. It's like Marsha, but it's still Marshall.
I will take either with absolute confidence. That's really amazing.
It's so good to see you, Marshall. I've got pictures, and Haley, Judy, I'm trying to remember if I told you that Marshall gave me a tutorial. I panicked about my hair, and I called the owner of Tangerine, and she said she'd put my hair formula, which is dangerous right off the bat, outside. And I think we talked about this, but I grabbed the bag and I dashed home, and I only had 45 minutes before it was going to explode. And then I had Marshall on the computer, and he was giving me step-by-step instructions on the hair color. Marshall, what was it that was so explosive that just almost really took me back, the chemical combination on that one ingredient in the little Tupperware? What was that?
So like when you mix color, there's a difference between permanent and temporary. And when you mix it, it makes it permanent because you add like a peroxide base or a volume with the color itself. So when you put them together, the chemical reaction it makes is what opens the cuticle of the hair and deposits the actual color. But that smell, that fume that you sometimes get, that's that chemical reaction. So if it's an enclosed space, it still is reacting. It's just going to be a little bit of a bigger reaction when you open it.
I don't know if you remember, but I opened it up and it was like I was bit by a snake. It was so
I felt alarming. So bad. I should have warned you.
Well, how have you been doing? I know that because you're in the salon industry, you've been sheltered too. How's this been for you? Do you like the quiet time, or are you going stir crazy?
You know, I personally have come to the point where it is really day by day, but I thrive on a routine. Like that is how I feel like I'm being a successful human being. So I have to admit, the first couple weeks, it kind of felt like, oh, it's a little staycation, no big deal. But Then it became longer and longer, and I was like, I've got to create some sort of routine here. So it's actually been kind of fun a little bit because, you know, I take long walks, like 3-mile walks every day. I take my dogs out. We have a happy hour in the dog park where we safely all sit 6 feet apart.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's been really fun because it's like you look forward all day for the 1 hour of just safe socialization.
Mm-hmm.
It really means something now, you know?
I know. Don't you just cherish conversation and seeing people, don't you?
I really do.
What are your dogs' names and what breed are they?
Oh my gosh, I have 2 Yorkies. They're brothers from the same litter, and they're
See one over your shoulder.
Oh yeah, that's Aspen back there. And then Kiston, sleeping right here.
Aww.
He was in my lap earlier, but he got up there, stretchy do.
Have you always had Yorkies, or this was are you a first-time Yorkie dad, and how old are they?
They are 9 years old back in January. And it was kind of funny. Me and Kevin, who also works at Tangerine Salon, we lived together for like 13 years. So we got the dogs together thinking we were just going to get one, but they were the last 2 of the litter, and I was like, I can't leave them.
Can't separate them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now they live with me most of the time, and he gets them every other weekend.
My goodness. Funny. Doggy custody.
Exactly.
Well, hey, Marshall, do you have any advice for any of us on this panel? You can see that I have had a permanent updo since day 2 of shelter. Judy still has her cascading hair. Heather's looking pretty good there. And Haley said this was her first time to actually do a smooth blowout in a while.
Yes, it looks good.
What can we do, though? Nobody can do their color. Nobody has a haircut. We don't remember how to blow our hair dry properly.
I know the feeling, actually. Even I need a haircut. It's kind of crazy. I kind of feel bad because I know we're going to get to go back to the salon soon, and we're so quickly rearranging the way that the schedules are working to safely get to everyone. But that will mean it might take a little time. We have a couple different options, whether it's kind of like we're going to continue possibly with doing some take-home colors for some clients who can't get in, or maybe it's not safe for them to get out just yet. We want to make sure we're giving a lot of options. If you are in like a serious lurch, the home and touch-ups my mom has been using, and she actually kind of likes it. It's literally a, oh crap, I've got to be on camera today, or oh, I've got to do something because I can't look at myself. And she just would spray it in, and it would wash out that night. It's very tempting.
Is it the hairspray? I mean, I've been spraying my hair with something. I don't know what it is. It's the little cans of color?
It's like a little can. It's usually like a blue can, and it comes in like different shades of blonde, brown, and some auburn red tones. But that's like the super, super in a pinch between appointments. But we are opening as of this coming Tuesday, and we are going to try to get as many people covered as possible, literally.
Marshall, I don't know if you can discuss or not, but what will we see? What will be some new salon protocols that may or may not last forever? But what would we see being vastly different than our last hair appointment we had?
Oh yeah, there definitely will be some changes. We are asking all of our guests and our staff to wear face masks just to protect everyone around us.
Okay. Are y'all providing them when someone comes in, or clients supposed to come in?
If you don't have one, we will provide one for you.
Sorry, I don't know what to do with the face mask. I feel like I'm suffocating.
So
when you're breathing in your own air.
I totally know what you mean, especially there are so many different kinds, and I've been playing around with different ones because I've noticed some are so face warming I can't breathe at all. And then there are ones that are a little bit more like the paper disposable ones.
Like these.
Yes, those are more breathable, but I actually really like they almost look like large headbands or sweatbands, but they stretch out so they cover.
Okay.
You can just lift them up over the nose. Most of the time, DCC really says face masks because the virus can work their way around or in the eyes. They're not protecting you as much as keeping everyone around you protected from you. So if everyone participates, it really, really does the job. So if I'm covering even with cloth, like a oversized turtleneck type neck covering. That's worked really well for me for grocery store visits and stuff, and I feel like I can breathe better.
Now, Marshall, I must admit, I will be disappointed if we don't see at some point a blinged out welcome back to the beauty parlor mask on Marshall. Have you thought about blinging one?
Just 1 second.
Oh, no. Y'all, I promise this is spontaneous. I promise you.
Look, his dog
Oh,
looks like
my
she's smiling.
I know. Marshall's about to surprise us with his.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
You got to talk to us so you.
You don't think I would be going back to work without one of these now, do you?
No,
I can't.
It's solid.
This is awesome.
Wait, Marshall, show me. Somehow I wasn't able to see you. Oh, am I the only one that can't see him? I see Heather.
Okay,
Marshall,
talk to us.
you have to talk, Marshall. You have to talk to be the speaker.
While it's on, can you hear me? So it's already,
oh, Lady Gaga, look out!
it's like triple padded. It's very breathable. It's got double straps, so I can put it up higher. But I am obsessed. It's so much fun. My friend
made it.
My friend actually made it up in Minneapolis. He's a drag queen, so he does a lot of sewing and jewels and.
Look at that.
That's awesome.
We gotta support our small businesses right now.
Absolutely. Okay, so speaking of, you told me to start watching. You said you have house parties, and you have not invited me to your house party, and I want to. But I watched 2 episodes of RuPaul's Drag Queen for the first time.
Oh my God, love it.
And I'm hooked. I'm watching it, and I when I was doing my makeup today, I thought, I don't think my lashes are big enough or long enough, and I noticed all the emphasis on cheekbones. So if I start, Judy will be honest with me, y'all. If I start taking it a little too far, because I'm desensitized because now I'm a drag queen fan, RuPaul's Drag Queen fan. You'll have to dial me back a little bit.
Do you love watching the makeup as you do it? It's the most fascinating thing. You erase every feature, and then you start with bone structure, and then move forward from there. It's an art form.
No, it really is. And I wondered. I was like, they put so much base on. I was like, they're almost take themselves kabuki. But then when they start bringing in those cheekbones and then the lashes, but the episode I watched, they were all making costumes, and I was just blown away with the costume making skills, the design elements, and it's fun. It's a little spicy. It's fun.
It is really spicy. Did you watch the secret celebrity one by chance?
Believe it or not, I watched the one they had Leslie Jones from Saturday Night Live, and I'm a huge Leslie Jones Saturday Night Live fanatic. So it was just perfect. But anyway, I want you to invite me to your house party.
Oh, I will. Yeah. So I was telling Kelly too that we do these house parties an app on the computer or iPad, and me and my friends gather every Friday night and throw up house parties. So it's just kind of like a Zoom meeting thing, and we all like pause during the show, and then we chit chat during the commercials. It's been so much fun.
Speaking of shows, because we got to bring for everybody on the group here, what's your show this week? What have you binged this week, Heather? Are you getting to watch any TV that you never had time to see in the past 4-8 years of life?
Exactly. Jared and I started the show on Netflix, Nailed It. It's the baking show, and they invite amateur bakers to come make cakes that are designed by experts, and it's hilarious. Highly recommend.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Haley, how about you? Anything you're binging on since we last spoke?
Nothing recently. Just I finished Schitt's Creek, and that was Schitt's Creek and Tiger King have been the only thing I've binge watched.
Okay, maybe I just love Eugene and Dan Levy, but did you love Schitt's Creek, or was it?
I really liked it.
Yes.
So that was my best, just shits and giggles show. Judy, how about you? What are you binging on?
I've done the Tiger King. I did Waco, and then I saw Marshall post something about Hollywood, so I started that. I've watched one episode. It's pretty racy, but I think I'm going to be hooked. I can't wait to watch my second episode.
Really?
Did you like it? Yes.
Hollywood was so good. It's one of those shows that it recreates history a way you wish it could have been.
Really? So it's throwback Hollywood set in what years?
It's like 40s.
Oh, okay. So it's got the Hollywood fashion and Hollywood glam.
But it pushes a lot of boundaries to include members of society that Hollywood did not include back then. So
okay.
It changes the history, basically, without giving anything away.
I will watch that. This week we've been watching as a family Ozark, and it just got super intense last night. So I'm almost like now look forward to watching the show again. And we're actually, you know what, now we're watching family TV as a family, and that has never happened in our household. And when I grew up, that's exactly what happened. We watched on Friday nights Dallas with JR. We watched, the Brady Bunch,
and Cher,
Sonny and Cher, Donnie and Marie.
Donnie and Marie.
So that's another silver lining on this week.
Also picked up the Michael Jordan documentary.
I've been hearing about that. Have you watched any of it yet, Haley?
I've watched like 2 episodes, but I'm really behind because a lot of people wanted to wait and watch it all. And I've had a few friends that are watching it each Sunday. So I've only seen 2 episodes, but I'm like towards the end of it. So I have to rewatch the beginning.
A documentary.
It's a documentary.
Oh, I've been hearing all the sports channels talk about that. I've got to watch that too. Marshall, you have fans too, and Haley and Judy have questions for you from we call them our pod pals. So fire away, ladies.
Judy, you want to go first?
Yeah, I will. One question that a couple of people have asked. They want to know if there's ever been a time that you wanted to do a hairstyle or color on a girl and you and Kelly disagreed. Have y'all ever had any disagreements?
It's funny. I can't honestly really think, looking back, that we've had major disagreements. I feel like Kelly puts a lot of trust in me. She puts a lot of faith in me. And you guys do, in general, put a lot of faith in me. So I think that trust is earned because I would never suggest something that wouldn't look good. So we've never had anything that difference of opinion. The closest thing was possibly over length. Maybe I want to go a little shorter, and maybe Kelly want to keep a little longer. But ultimately, they all end up looking beautiful. So there's not really a major crazy one out there that I can.
Marshall, there was that I think it was Jaylyn. Didn't Jaylyn from going from brunette, and we were bringing her back to a tone of auburn, and she went through that orange stage, and I was
stages of orange.
I did. That one scared me just because the shock of the stage.
A color correction is a scary thing. It is a really scary thing because you see all of the undertones and things that you don't actually want in your hair because you're exposing it all before you kind of fix it. But I have to also say that's one of my favorite makeovers. That's where you actually see some real science of hair color.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's awesome. Okay. Someone asked, Kay Houghton asked, the most frequent hair mistakes you see at auditions.
Oh, to me that's a pretty easy one. Extensions that don't blend.
Agree.
I think all of us have noticed the spaghetti strands that sometimes hang too long, or a nice bob with clip-ins that kind of come down to mid-back.
Right, and this hair moves differently from the bottom hair. It's like 2 different hairdos moving.
It really is. It's 2 different haircuts, just kind of clipped all in there.
That is so
Marshall. In addition to auditions, what's the biggest? Because Dallas is different than other cities. That's for sure when it comes to hair. What's the biggest mistake you see walk in the doors in Dallas on just a regular clientele that's not part of our audition?
Thinking you can touch up your own blonde hair at home.
Look, I've done it twice.
I must say, covering gray is different than blonde. Oh, crap.
Is he saying gray instead of blonde?
Thank you, Marshall.
It is. That was the best.
The secret only your hairstylist knew, right?
What do you think the average average age is of a woman, the average when people start sprouting grays, or is it all over the map?
I want to say the average is probably around sprouting, probably around early 30s. But to be honest,
tell me that.
It is all over the map. I'm 33 and I have no grays on my head, but I do in my beard. And I have a 17-year-old once that was 75% gray, and so is her mother and her grandmother. So genetics really plays a huge part in it. So the reason why I don't really think too much about gray hair in general is because I've seen it on every age. It doesn't denotate age and number as much as it does genetics and stress. I mean, sometimes those things can change that. I've seen people actually get like a full-on gray patch just between appointments, just show up. And it's because they've been really stressed out.
Well, we'd have a whole science class on this, but what part of the body chemistry reacts to stress that manifests as a surprise patch of gray hair?
You know, like stress alopecia, when you get so stressed out or anxious or nervous or whatever goes on in your life, and maybe you lose some hair, or it increases the way that the body processes nutrients, and you might have kind of a shock of just, you know what, this little section, we're not making melanin anymore because we're focusing things elsewhere. It happens, but I mean, I don't see that as extreme all the time, but when it does come to turning gray, it is definitely a variety of factors, not just age.
Marshall, do you believe there really is something, because maybe with quarantine, this is kind of like spring cleaning and New Year's, we're all trying to at least reinvent something about ourselves in a positive way. Do you really think there's something we can eat or drink that helps the health of our hair that you have seen personally in the salon?
You know, when honestly, if you're eating or drinking anything, as long as you're getting a fully balanced diet with proteins, healthy fats, omega-3s are amazing for healthy shine. I take biotin every day. I take vitamin D3 every day. Those are just two things that keep the way that your body uses nutrients really healthy. So if I want a healthy shine, I know that means I need to make sure I'm ingesting the correct things, because if I'm only eating, I don't know, pizza, or if I'm eating, say, the opposite, if I'm only eating just bare scraps, those two things are not going to give you beautiful, lustrous hair.
What was that again? Biotin and vitamin D or vitamin B?
Vitamin D3. I take that. It's great for skin, nails, body. When you lay out in the sun, you're converting it into vitamin D. It's a wonderful thing, and too many people are vitamin D deficient.
Do we have any more questions from the gallery from Marshall?
Yes, they want. Some people want to know what is the best way to match your hair to your color, your skin tone. Do you have any good tips there?
Absolutely. Like if you have more red tones in your skin tone, you want to go more cool versus the opposite. Sometimes tonality can change based off of skin tone and eye color, but I like to try to think about, funny enough, Kelly is the one that got me to actually holding eye swatches up directly to my eyes. I actually like that because then you start seeing things you didn't notice before. So I think holding it up to your eyes and then also matching the skin tone to the opposite so it's complementary versus so similar. I had a friend who overly tanned. I'm talking about tanning beds and then tanning foam. And then she tried to lighten her hair and it just went kind of caramel gold.
Oh, gosh.
Just skin hair. It's just all one color.
One color.
Right.
You know, we get that at auditions a lot, way over tan and way over processed. And then they just lose all features. You can't see the eye lines, the brows, the teeth. It's just monochromatic.
I know, we'll get into the audition talk, but I have enjoyed that, watching some of the videos so far, preliminaries. People aren't able to go get their tans right now, and they look so much fresher.
Do you think sometimes there's a disconnect between when people look their best versus what they think they need to show up like? I've noticed.
Sure. Yes.
Yes. I don't. Sometimes I think people get different advice from their classes, or I even noticed some college dance teams will, and they're great. Heather is a living example of a great college dance team that has joined our team. But like some colleges have a strict code of hard red lips for field appeal and really dramatic theatrical lashes and makeup, which is from a distance effective. And now, as you know, Marshall, at our stadium, we have the 60-yard HD board, which really makes lashes and heavy makeup very unflattering, and it needs the much softer approach to makeup. So sometimes it's just
doesn't apply anymore here.
No, not at all. Yeah. Marshall, are you ready to start your judging?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this.
Well, the applications are coming in by the hundreds, and we're so excited. We've had, and they're great. Judy's viewed more than me. I know Charlotte and Haley have been looking through more than me. I'm mentally starting after this podcast. I'm starting tonight and tomorrow. Going to take a real focused deep dive into it. And then Marshall will have to give you your technology lesson on how to make the computer be your judge's book. But outside of that, the thinking and the decision making and your choices and your preferences will all be the same. But you're going to love it. You're going to love being one-on-one, watching every single girl introduce herself and watching her dance. In her space, we've had some backyard dancers. We've had some garage dancers. What else have you guys seen?
A few bathroom dancers.
Bathroom dancers. Okay.
I mean, they've been everywhere. Pastures. There's one with some cows in the background. Yes.
Well, you know what? We've recommended that they make sure that they're memorable or notable. I might remember the girl in the pasture with the cows in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember the girl who loved the smell of tires.
Yes. Yes. Heather, what would you think? We talked about you walking across the stage, receiving your college diploma, and then tiptoeing right onto an airplane and flying to Dallas and trying out the next morning. What would you think if you could have done that online and submitted Heather's best video from Arizona for these first two rounds?
I definitely probably would have been a lot less stressed for that 24-hour period, as far as hoping my flight wasn't delayed and I got to my hotel in time. But I do think that these women auditioning have an advantage just as far as the intimidation factor goes, and not having to walk in and kind of instantly start comparing yourself to others. I will never forget walking into prelims and sitting down next to supermodel Maggie and thinking, oh, great. I was like, well, I'm proud of myself for being here, but if this is the caliber of the women who are going to be on this team, then I will see myself out. But it's definitely an advantage for them just to put their best foot forward. And again, that one-on-one time with you all is so precious and something that we didn't have the opportunity to have. So just take advantage of that to just capture your hearts in the few minutes that they have your time for.
Judy, I've noticed, and Haley, I've noticed we obviously have ladies from Texas and California. I've seen Florida, Washington, Virginia, Tennessee, and Kansas. Have you guys seen anybody from Heather's home state yet?
Yes. I think there's some from her school too. There's
Yay.
We have a variety of places. It's been awesome. We even have some from the UK, Canada, Japan, Mexico. They are literally coming in from across the world.
There are a few gems from Arizona auditioning, so keep your eyes out for them.
You answered my question. So you do have some from University of Arizona that were on the Palm line that you were on?
Yes, a few from the University of Arizona. I know we have kind of our trickling legacy line of girls auditioning, starting with Megan Carcipolo, and our most recent was Shondi. And I know there's also a few little gems from Arizona State who I met at UDA Nationals in Orlando this year, who are coming to audition and represent Phoenix. So from North and South in Arizona, we've got some great girls.
Heather, I'm looking at the sheet of paper that you had filled out for this podcast, and you mentioned all the different celebrities you've performed with. who out of Queen and Adam Lambert, Aerosmith, Meghan Trainor, Thomas Rhett, Eric Church, Ellie Goulding, to name a few, Neil McCoy, which performer kind of was your breathless moment performing with, and why?
That's a great question. I mean, Queen obviously was so special just for me and my parents because I listened to them with my dad growing up in the car, like on the highest volume possible. So that was surreal. But as far as celebrities who, to me personally, Meghan Trainor was just so personable and so sweet and took the time to just have girl talk with us and talked about engagement rings and her fiance. And it was just really cool to see how down to earth she was in the midst of this amazing production that we were putting on. So those are my top two, I'd say.
It was with Meghan Trainor that we met our new BFF in the dance world, Charm LaDonna. She's going to be joining us, Marshall, with you next week for the round 2 of judging. So you're in good company there.
I love Charm. She's so sweet.
She is sweet and
she
sassy.
actually has her solo song coming out next week that she was telling me.
That's right.
Her first single.
She's the vocalist or she's dancing with them?
From what I heard, it was a vocalist, but I could be
Wow.
completely mistaken. But it's her first
I
single
think
coming out
she
next
is
week.
too. Yeah, I saw that on her Instagram.
Do you
My goodness.
Do you think if one of the girls did a solo to her new single, they would have an advantage or more?
That's a very good strategy.
Good strategy there.
Maybe you should do a special performance for us in the Cap 10 with the doggies and use Charm's song.
You know what? That sounds like a plan. I will put a routine together.
And we'll have a house party and we'll all watch it together.
Sounds fun.
Well, y'all, this has been great. This has been so fun seeing everybody. Thank you, Heather, and thank you, Marshall, for joining us. And Heather, we'll be seeing you next Tuesday at our end-of-year virtual banquet. And Marshall, we'll be seeing you, a lot of you, kind of, sort of. You're actually going to be judging in your own space and on your own computer. So make sure everything's charged up and ready to go, and you've got full focus because you have a lot of videos to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you guys so much for joining us today on Just for Kicks. I hope you guys have a great week and stay healthy and stay safe.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.